There is a time to buy, and I'm talking about gold. There's a time to buy and there's a time to sell. And for the vast majority of people, when I give the buy signal, the vast majority of people can't pull the trigger. So the buy signal, of course, was down here at this bottom, and I even posted this in the public blog, the 3B reversal here. That was the buy signal, and because gold had been in a long decline, most people could only see recency bias. They could only see lower prices ahead, so they can't pull the trigger. Now we've had a multi-month rally, and up here I've been warning people that the most aggressive suppression of the metals would come on a test of those all-time highs. I warn people to at least exit half of their metal positions in here. And then yesterday, when we got that big attack on silver, I gave people the go ahead to take the rest of the profits. And most people should have some very nice profits in their metals positions from this run here. The problem, of course, is the opposite happens. After a long and very strong trending move, people are afraid of missing out on more of the move, and of course a lot of people, they end up buying. This is when I get the most people want to join the S&T is up in here, because now they're comfortable with metal prices going higher, and so they want to buy right here, after a 5 or 6 month rally, and they don't want me to sell at this point. They want me to confirm to them that we're just getting started and we got a lot further to go. And in the big picture, we do. We are just getting started and we have a long way to go. But I think that huge smash on silver yesterday was probably the warning sign that not only are the metals moving down into probably a daily cycle low, but probably an intermediate cycle low as well. So I've changed the way I'm looking at this chart. I think this was just a manufactured takedown of the metals and probably just a first daily cycle low. I think this was a second daily cycle low, and now we're probably starting a third daily cycle. And the third daily cycle is the one that's going to left translate and move down into that intermediate cycle low. So now I'm beating the drum, just like I was beating the drum to buy back here, and few people would listen to me. Now I'm beating the drum to take your profits, get on the sidelines, be patient for at least into the FOMC meeting next month before we want to try and buy back. And again, most people don't want to listen to me. They've locked in their bias that this has to go much, much higher. And again, it will, but just not during this intermediate cycle, I don't think. I think we've got to have an intermediate correction first, and then we will get our breakout and our big run to much, much higher highs. My original expectation was maybe we could get up to 2200 or 2250. Well, if we have an intermediate degree correction now, I think the target becomes much higher than that, maybe as high as 2500 or long shot maybe even 3000 during the next intermediate cycle. But we need to have an intermediate cycle decline first. So now I am telling people, take your profits. We've had a huge move. We've made a lot of money. Be happy with it. Take your profits. Get on the sideline. Get in cash. Wait for the intermediate cycle low. At some point here, probably middle of next month, I'll be telling people to buy again, and it will be the same thing that it always is. People will be afraid to buy. They won't be able to pull the trigger, just like they couldn't pull the trigger here, and just like they couldn't pull the trigger here. They won't be able to pull the trigger down here. And this will be the spot where everybody should be clamoring to get on board the S&T and to buy this dip and prepare for the next intermediate degree rally. But human nature just never changes, and this is just not the way most people's brains work. They can't buy corrections, and they can't sell tops. So bookmark this video, and when we get down here and you start seeing me urging people to start buying, to get on board the SMT, listen to me this time. So listen to me here. I think it's time to sell. When we get the correction, listen to me when I tell you it's time to buy again. And somewhere, let me be clear, somewhere in here there's going to be a bounce, and there's going to be reversal candles along the way down. I would take those with a big grain of salt. They're usually just a trap to get people to buy too early, and then the banking cartel will throw a bunch of more shorts on the market, and then those early buyers will get stopped out, and that's just more fuel for the cartel to take the market even lower. And then somewhere here, there's almost always a B wave bounce that's very convincing. This is a B wave bounce into a daily, or into an intermediate cycle low, and somewhere here we'll probably get the same thing. We're almost certainly, more than likely, I'll put it that way, probably going to come down, break this pivot. That is your definitive signal that we're in an intermediate decline. That would be a lower low, and at that point you don't want to hang on any longer, and you want to get out of the way. And then at some point here we'll get a bounce. It'll look really convincing. Again, human nature will take over, because people still have the memory of this big move. They don't want to miss out. They'll get in, they'll trust that bounce, and then like I said, the cartel will use that bounce to short the move, take it down, run everybody's stops that bought that bounce too early, and then we'll get our final move into the intermediate cycle low, probably in June. And I'll go over in much more detail in the premium report what to look for during this decline, and what we're waiting for before we want to start buying again.